everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 6 of Let's Furnish Berrywine Acres. So in this part we are taking care of the master bathroom as well as the nursery, and as you can see I already placed a shower, and I just placed it into sort of that indent in the wall because that's personally something I like to do since I feel like it looks a little bit better than just having the shower out in the middle of the floor. And I've seen a lot of bathrooms where, the shower's kind of in the wall, like in a little wall pocket, and I don't know, I just think, like I said, I think it looks a little bit better. Here we're moving on to the sink and mirror area. I would definitely want this bathroom to have a double sink since, it is the master bathroom, so, I feel like there should be one sink for each spouse. And also, since I made the master bedroom purple, which was the wife's favorite color, I wanted to make the master bathroom green, which is, the husband's favorite color, just so, I guess there's a little bit of their personality in that, if that makes sense. The bedroom's the wife's favorite color, and then the bathroom is the husband's favorite color, so there's just I guess a personal touch of theirs is a better word for that than personality. But right there, I just placed in that large mirror. I was trying some other large mirrors there as well, but they didn't look quite right, so I felt like the, full wall mirror looked best in there. And right here, I'm replacing the curtain in the master bedroom because I realized it maybe look better to have, more fancier curtain in there since the bedroom is so, it's a lot more elegant than the rest of the house is, I guess. And, I guess my thoughts on that was, I think I said this in the previous part, but my thoughts on that was, maybe this is furniture that was inherited from, a past family member. And, it's very old-fashioned furniture. So I just wanted to give it a very old world look, but I just put some knickknacks on the countertop since that's something I like to do, and right here I'm trying to figure out some wall decorations. I don't want to put something too big there because, it's not really a whole lot of wall space, so I just went with a smaller face painting. And this is going to sound really silly, but when I was doing this, I just discovered that you could recolor that and have different faces on it. For some reason, whenever I recolor that particular painting before, I didn't realize you could have different looking faces. Somehow I never really looked at that and realized that, so that's something new I learned. A lot of you probably knew that already, so I just look silly, but, I guess you learn something new every day, and that was the new thing for that particular day. But here I'm continuing on with the green theme in this bathroom, and I went with more of a pale green. I'm not sure what kind of green the favorite color was, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of different kinds of greens you can select as the favorite color. It's kind of just regular green, so I guess it doesn't really matter that it's, pale green rather than Christmas tree green, which I think is what it shows up as when you pick the favorite color. But I was just trying to work out different patterns, I didn't want to just make it a plain color towel. I wanted to have, an interesting pattern on it. So I think I went with something that was striped. And the curtain there has a light plaid type pattern. I put another one of those little face paintings there. And as you can see, I made a different face since that was something new I figured out. And I put a light there above the shower just so it looked a little bit brighter there. And here I'm placing a rug down there. And I gave it, I think that was the same pattern I used downstairs in, I think the guest bedroom? I don't know, I think I used that pattern somewhere else, but I didn't want to just have a plain rug, so, I was experimenting with patterns a little bit. And I put a little rug there in front of the shower, because, I felt like it'd be nice to have, a little bath mat to step on as I get out of the shower, so I gave that a slightly different pattern. I think it's actually the same one that was on the towel. But for the floor, I used a different floor than I typically do in bathrooms, so I actually used this more old-fashioned looking towel since I wanted this bathroom to have an older look to it, I guess. And now moving on to the wallpaper, and with the wallpaper of this bathroom, I actually did something a little bit different than I've done with the paneling in the rest of the house. So rather than making the paneling wood, as I have been, I actually made it more of a solid color, so it's a light green paneling, which is really interesting, and it's something I don't think I've done before. I've always just stuck with wood for paneling, but I just wanted to try some new things with this, and I thought that would look really interesting. And I actually really like how it looks, so that might be something I do a little bit more on. Maybe I'll do that in one of the other bedrooms. Because it's just, yeah, I just like it. Or, maybe I'll even do it in other houses. But right now I'm just trying to figure out the wallpaper type color, because I wanted something that, didn't look odd with it since, the rest of it's, the paneling part is green, so it's not as easy to match to as wood. But right here I'm changing the colors of the counter, so I made the countertop a little bit more of a greenish shade. And I also made the wood a lighter type wood since I felt like that would fit in, that would look a little bit better. So this is a very, very green bathroom, but I really like it. Like I said, it's different than how I normally do my bathrooms because usually I do the, just regular, more modern tile, I guess, and then I have the half tile, half wallpaper wall, but I feel like that really wouldn't really look that good in an old-fashioned house like this. So, you know, I just went with that, and I did place some tiles behind the shower since I felt like it would make more sense to have, you know, tile back there since it is a shower area. You know, you don't want to have paneling back there, and it kind of sets it off as a shower area more so. And for whatever reason, I was playing around with putting some columns in there to kind of separate out the shower area. You know, I was trying to see how that looked, but then I ended up taking out because I realized it could interfere with Sims being able to get in the shower, use a hamper, or the toilet. And I try to avoid Sims not being able to use objects. You know, I like my houses to look good, but also be very functional. But now the master bedroom is done, so I'm actually going to move on to the nursery. So with the nursery, I decided to do something a little bit fun and put a platform in to put the crib on, because, I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting more so than just having the whole room being flat. Sometimes I like to play around with platforms. I don't do it always. I mean, a lot of times I don't do it, but then on occasion, you know, when I have a room that it fits in, I like to give it a try. And I did put a rocking chair off to the side because, you know, I wanted to have a rocking chair, and so I'm going to mess around changing the color and placing that properly later. But right now I'm trying to change the color of the crib, and if I remember correctly, the toddler's favorite color is teal. I'm going to feel silly if it's not his favorite color because I kind of made the whole nursery teal. But right now I'm changing the color of the wood to be a little bit darker so that it looks better, making the accents on it a darker teal color, and I really like how that looks. You know, I felt like in a more traditional house like this, having the wood be darker versus just, you know, light would look a lot better. I also put that little safari mobile in there. I think the crib and the mobile are store set, but I don't really like the cribs that came with the base game, so I like using the store set one a lot more. And I also put that toy chest in there. That's from Supernatural, and made it kind of a similar color to the rest of the wood, but I think it's a different pattern. And right here next to where that is, I want to put a whole bunch of toys on the floor. Just because, you know, this is a nursery, so I feel like it gives it that more lived-in look if you just have a whole bunch of toys, you know, laying around. You let the kid play with them and just forgot them to put away. And I also did put that dragon painting there on, you know, the wall next to the crib. You know, just since that's a nice childlike painting that really only works in a kid's room. And right here I'm messing around changing the color of the rocking chair. And I originally made it an orange color just since that's a complementary color for blue, so they kind of go together well. And I also used this children's style bookcase. I think that was part of the same store set that the crib came in. But I made it the same type of wood that the crib was, so, you know, it fits in there well. But I was trying to play around with, like, seeing which of the little animal patterns that you can make it look best. But I just made it the same bluish one that the crib was. And I was messing around with putting a shelf above the bookshelf to put some toys in, but with the window there, it just didn't really quite fit in that well. And right here in the center, I'm placing this little toy block play thing. And I think that was also part of the same set as well. I mean, this nursery has a lot of store content in it. And right there I put in some of those, you know, of course the xylophone and the shape thing and the, you know, potty seat that, you know, you typically have in nurseries. And I was trying to figure out what to do with that wall there, so I decided it'd be fun to put in some shelves and put a whole bunch of toys on them as well, just so there's lots of toys sitting around this nursery just to give it a fun look. So I tried to find toys I didn't place on the floor because I don't like to have multiples of the same toy in the same room. But I was kind of running out of toys to use, so I was trying to figure out what to do. So I did put a picture frame in there because of that, you know, just to take up some space there. And also, you know, I figured it'd be nice, you know, maybe to put a, you know, they could put a nice family picture of them with a toddler in there, and, you know, it would look nice. So I just ended up putting one of those toys there because I ran out of more toys to put in. Like I said, I was having an issue with that. And on this wall there, I was trying to figure out another little kid-like wall hanging to put there, just because it's fun to put, you know, the fun things that'll only work in nurseries in. So I put that. I think it was like some kind of like learn your alphabet thing. I think that was also store content, but if I remember correctly, it was free, I want to say. For some reason, I think it was free. And on that wall there, I put another little toy shelf up there. So there's a lot of toys laying around this room, but I mean, it's a nursery, so of course that's what it's going to be like. And now that all the furniture is in there, I'm moving on to taking care of the floor. So I made it the same wood on, you know, the lower area, and then on the platform I thought it'd be neat to have carpet up there instead, so I put some teal carpet. So this nursery just has a lot of blue, and I put that flower rug underneath the toy there because I thought that would look really nice. And I made it blue as well. And then I changed the color of the rocking chair to be blue just because I felt like the orange looked a little odd because everything else was blue, you know? So I felt like it might just look better if I made everything blue. And I also put another rug on in front of the crib there, just because I felt like there needed to be something there in that space. And I tried making that orange just to see if, you know, like I said, the complementary color thing would look good. And right now I'm moving on to doing the wallpaper, and I use the same paneling since, you know, I wanted this room to have paneling as well. You know, I'm probably gonna have all the other bedroom, you know, the other 2 bedrooms have paneling in them as well. So I was trying to figure out the perfect pattern for this room. And I actually had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what pattern to make this room because, you know, I didn't want it to look too formal, if that makes any sense, you know, but I also didn't want it to look too childish because I wanted it to look like this room has fancy wallpaper in it to begin with. But then if you made it too fancy, I felt like it wouldn't really go well with the whole nursery thing. So, like I said, I just spent a lot of time, and I ended up going with this paneling, which was the same one that was in the master bedroom, you know, the one that has a little bit more wood to it. Just because I felt like having the other one looked a little bit too bare. I think picking the wallpaper in this house actually, or the wallpaper in this room actually took me as long, if not longer, than putting all the furniture in. And I actually did cut some of it out because it just took me so long, and, you know, I didn't want half the video to be me picking wallpaper. So I just kind of wanted to, you know, cut to the chase a little bit more, I guess. And I then made it blue because, you know, once again, for some reason, orange didn't look quite as right in this room. And I did make that rocking chair there yellow, which I think looks a little bit better in this room than the orange did. And then, you know, I wanted to see what it looked like if I had just the whole wallpaper wall, but then I felt like that looked, you know, too bare. And I, of course, went back to orange. I kept going back to orange, trying to see if it would look right. I just had a really hard time picking it out. So I stuck on that one for a while, and then I put some more of those little face pictures on the wall just to fill in some space there. And then after that, I ended up changing the wallpaper again, but that's about all that I did in this video. Hope you all enjoyed this part. Thanks for watching, and bye!